Hello and welcome to ICAD number 2 with DeeDee Catron. I know that these ICADs, one of the main parts is to do art and to do art quickly. So I am kind of aiming my own art towards fastness or quickness and really kind of trying to kick my own butt in gear. So this ICAD took me about 22 minutes recorded, with a few minutes where I wasn't recording and I was sort of contemplating what I was going to do. But believe it or not, I think I only spent about 32 minutes on this ICAD total, including thinking time. So that's pretty good for me. I'm not going to lie. If you are new to me, like if you're here from the ICAD group, sometimes I spend days on projects, and I am trying really hard to trust my gut more and go with the flow rather than stress about every little thing being so perfect. So done is better than perfect. I've heard that recently, and I'd like to try incorporating that more. So one of my personal tips or tricks or techniques is to already have a background done. And one of those ways is jelly printing. So this piece of paper that I am layering on top of my index card is a jelly print from a session I did maybe like a week ago. I did it for our mixed media moods, and this is one of the beautiful prints that I had left from it. It's mostly color blocking with a little bit of patterns, and I love the theme that it has going, the color scheme. So I specifically cut the jelly print down to fit my ICAD so that I could actually cover 2 index cards. So maybe in the next 20, 30, 40, 58 index cards, you'll see me use this jelly print again. Maybe, I don't know. So I used some Yoo-Hoo, by the way, to glue that jelly print down to my already gessoed index card. And then I picked a Tim Holtz paper doll. So stinking in love with these things. The variety is amazing. The sizes are awesome. It's totally a screaming deal that you get in these paper doll packages. I bought 3 of them, and I'll probably buy 3 more just to make sure I have a good stash of them. I'm always nervous about things running out. So yeah, I love these paper dolls. Check them out. I'll link below. So I picked this little boy, which I kind of turn more gender neutral, kind of androgynous, I think, maybe a better term. But anyways, it's a cute little boy, and I end up picking a sentiment or cutting out some fun like book text words that talk about a daughter. So just go with it, right? It is what it is. I loved the little boy, and then the saying that I end up working with, I picked up off my desk. So I'm just going with it, and I love it. I love everything about this card, even that part, even the confusing part. What I've been doing for the last couple seconds or maybe like couple minutes here is I've been kind of creating this white halo effect, or kind of like light shining from my paper doll. I'm using a white Sharpie paint pen. This is the water-based one because there's an oil-based one as well. And I have for a really, really long time stressed about what kind of a white pen or a paint marker I should use, only because it seemed like everything I picked up would dry out, or like I love the Posca paint pens, but I can only, as far as I'm aware, I can only get them in a big package with all the colors, and I don't always need all the colors. Sometimes I just need to replace 1 or 2, which tend to be black and white. So I love these Sharpie white pens, which I totally picked up because Dina Wakely suggested it, and they are wonderful. Totally, totally wonderful. And they're open stock. So they come individually packaged. I can buy just the white one if I want, or just the black one, or just the whatever color one. So I love them, and they work beautifully. All of this is just going over and working on top of paint that's already there and dried from the jelly print. And it's awesome, man. It's so awesome. Here, there, you can see. So I kind of put a little halo effect around my little paper doll, and then I did a really thin small line of dots all the way around the index card. Then I'm getting out some Unwild Studio chipboard star confetti. So confetti from Unwild Studio, which is the company that I own, it comes in a package of 100, and they are little itty bitty pieces like confetti that have shapes to them. So we have stars, and we have hearts, and we have hexagons and circles and squares and diamonds and triangles and all kinds of things, flowers, fish, and they are confetti. They're all kinds of different sized pieces, but each package is themed to a certain shape. So I go nuts over the stars. I use them on so much stuff, which is totally okay because we all have our favorite stuff. And I just I'm gluing them down with some heavy gel medium in the matte. I like matte because then it's not shiny on my project if it kind of squeezes out underneath my pieces. It is really good to use a heavy gel medium with chipboard, especially ours from Unwild Studio, because it's really thick and it's a dark craft. So it's recycled paper into this really dark craft colored chipboard, and it's really thick and dense. So you really want, and it's a little bit heavy, so you want something that's really going to hold it in place, like the gel medium. Then I covered the surfaces of the stars with the same white pen, and then I was kind of just doing some dots around, and I ended up kind of doing some in the shape of stars around a couple of the stars, which was ended up really killer. And I hadn't planned on doing that. It just kind of ended up that way, and I really liked it. So I did 3 out of the 5, and I can't believe I forgot to mention this, but I picked 5 stars because our psyche and like our subconscious is really drawn to things that end in odd numbers, and like things that are imperfect slightly. It doesn't have to be like skewed crazy all over, but it helps to make things a little bit wonky on purpose, to use odd numbers, things like that. It's all about subconscious and what our minds are drawn to aesthetically. So 5 stars, and then when I outlined them with the paint marker, I did 3 of the 5. Kind of the same thing. So yeah, just go for it. If there's too many in a group to count, then the odd and even numbers do not matter as much. So keep that in mind. Don't stress yourself if you have 97 or 98 or 99. Don't worry about it. Once you get past like 11 or 13, then you're good to go. I am doing a tiny bit of hand stitching on this piece, just some kind of big chunky cross stitches on the side, 3 of them to be exact, in this really cool navy colored DMC thread. And I should mention real quick, the paints that I used for this jelly printing, I use a Jelly Arts plate, an 8x10. I jelly print on some basic Michaels cardstock, and then the paint that I use usually Dina Wakley paints by Ranger or Amsterdam acrylics. For this project specifically, I used the Dina Wakley paints, I used turquoise, and I used night. So they're so lovely together. They have the most beautiful relationship when it comes to wet on wet that I have ever seen. So very cool stuff. Then that navy DMC floss really complements both of the colors of the Dina Wakley paint really well. So I did my cross stitches, and then I always secure my DMC floss on the back. It's probably a little bit anal, especially once I've tied it in a knot, but I tend to worry, especially because I'm hand stitching in paper. I don't want things to get pulled out. So I put a little gel medium on there, and then I cover it with tape too, just to secure it in place. Then earlier I was talking about the words that I put on my little paper doll. I found these just laying on my desk, not cut out. They were in a dictionary page, but I started with outer space, and then I ended up with the whole thing from the same page, all on the same side. So I just picked the words out of different areas and then rearranged them really, really fun and awesome. And I'm really drawn to celestial bodies, and I love stars and moons and the sun and the planets, and it, I don't even know, I haven't really been paying that much attention to how much you've seen my arm, but I have a huge star sleeve on my right arm, bunch of star tattoos, and I just love everything celestial based. I love outer space, and I love terms like star child and things like that. So that's where this saying came from. It just fell into my lap off this page that was laying on my desk. So now I'm gluing that down with some Yoo-Hoo. At a later date, I may go over it with some fluid matte medium. For now, I'm going to see how it holds up with the Yoo-Hoo and go from there. If I really don't want to lose these words, so I'll be careful with it. But really the best way to combat losing those words is to go over the top of it with a collage medium of some type. Collage Podge, Mod Podge, I could do, fluid matte medium, gel medium, whatever. Now I'm going to use some blush. This is another paint by Dina Wakley. I love these three colors together. They just make me so happy. The turquoise, the night, and the blush. But I'm going to use it to make the cheeks on this little boy nice and pink and rosy, and maybe add just a tiny bit of femininity to the piece. And then that's it. So thanks so much for stopping by. If you have any questions, let me know. All the supplies are linked below, and I'd love it if you'd subscribe to my channel. See you next time.